Previously on Deck of Many Aces.
Can I investigate the sundial before we do anything?
You were fighting around the carcass of the fire snake. There is no trace that this creature ever existed. The scene around you changes. The tranquil square switches. First to a fiery landscape where a carcass of a fire snake lies. Then to a strange and foreign-looking place with glittering structures where what can only be described as a nest of displacer beasts is crawling. And then it returns back to the town square and the carcass of the displacer beast is gone. Welcome to Deck of Many Aces, an actual play podcast made with actual asexuals!
Sorry, Eiriol.
Yeah, I was going to say, you left Eiriol alone in the cold there. Damn, guys.
I did a woo.
I'll just sit here with my blams.
We are a group of people on the aromantic or asexual spectrum playing 5th edition D&D with a twist. Everyone's character, their past, present, and future is based on cards drawn from the Deck of Many Things. I am Ellie, and I use she, her pronouns, and I am your dungeon master. Wow, that's not the right opening, it's your DM.
It doesn't stand for dungeon master.
Let's try it again.
My name is Ellie, and I use she, her pronouns, and I will be your DM today, your demisexual mastermind, which was the honorary title that I was given from my home D&D group. We decided to do a Teen Choice Awards, except we called it Team Trust Issues Choice Awards. And everyone got to submit ideas for different names for DMs, and mine was Demisexual Mastermind, and I was like, yeah! Does everyone want to introduce themselves?
My name is Am, and I play Tohsya Atherdale, Loxodon Fighter and Party Tank. We both use she, her pronouns, and Tohsya is currently having a nervous breakdown.
Woo! I'd forgotten about that.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Chloe. I play Raina Riftwood, a tabaxi bard who's having a nice long sleep, and we both use she, her pronouns. Pronouns? Pronouns.
Pronouns? Pronouns, woo.
Oh no!
Oh no! We're a super professional podcast. We really have
Don't lie to the people.
the highest caliber of content.
How dare you insinuate we are anything but utter trash?
Trash raccoons, yes.
I've never seen a professionalism.
I spent far too long yesterday looking at Yu-Gi-Oh! AMVs. You cannot say anything.
I stayed up late watching bits from the Cats musical, the original Cats
Ew.
musical, not the film version,
Oh,
the
good.
stage version,
Thank God.
which is way better than the film version. Just FYI.
I mean, I still don't like it, but at least it's good.
Yeah, I get why
Yes.
now it's popular. I'm not sure it's good, but it is interesting. Anyway,
Eiriol?
Eiriol, were you saying something?
Yeah, I was going to introduce myself.
You do that. Yeah, sorry.
Hi, I'm Eiriol. I am playing Delphi, who's a Growfolk warlock, and I use she, they pronouns, and Delphi uses she.
Hi, I'm Katie. I use she, her, or they, them pronouns, and I am going to be playing Morgan today. Every episode so far I have been playing Morgan, and I'll continue to do so. She is a tiefling wizard, and she can fly. I think we've established that, but I'm going to say it again.
My flatmate did ask me, like, are we going to introduce the characters every time? And I was like, yeah, because I'd like to think that if, like, a random person stumbles upon this episode and, like, starts listening, instead of, like, listening at the beginning, and they get halfway through and they're like, I love this content, but I don't know what's going on, at least they'll have, like, some clue.
Yeah.
And can go back and listen.
We never did stuff like explain what a tiefling is, or...
Yeah,
like,
but
no.
they'll pick it up through osmosis.
If they have access to podcast platforms, they have access to Google.
Yes. Just Google it.
Except for my one. That one doesn't exist.
Yeah, but you explained it. Also...
Yeah. There's an episode with an explanation. You know.
Also, the description that you gave us the other day, which was, like, a god was told to create a human but only had trees as a reference point, is the, like, best description of a race I have ever heard.
Yeah, and it's the reason they have purple blood is because they're like, I've been told that they have this fluid that goes through their body. I don't know what colour it is, so I'm going with purple.
Purple makes sense.
Yeah.
Does Delphi have, like, leaves on, like a proper, like, what's the word, canopy, like a tree, or is she just, like, a big log?
Yeah, I forgot to describe Delphi as just one big stick. She rolls everywhere. She has no arms or legs. Just a face on a log.
It's an absolutely cracking episode start, guys.
I mean, it was, like, kind of funny, but also a genuine question.
I don't know yet. I haven't thought... There are certain things I decided not to think about.
I'd like to ask, but I never actually asked. For those of us who are interested in specifics of D&D rules, what race did you base Delphi off of? Is there a published dryad?
No. I based
stat
it...
block?
It's really easy to make up races. Like, it's incredibly easy. And with modern stuff now, they've even, like, gotten rid of a lot of race attribute changes, and you base them off your class and background. And so the only thing you have to figure out is the abilities, and I just grabbed ones from different things that exist already. And like there are you can make them so easily. There are like point buy systems to do it super easily, and it's just like, oh cool.
All right, so it's completely homebrew.
Yes.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, I trust you all to, like, not, like, make ridiculous OP decisions.
Sweats nervously.
But also, like, I think as well, like, if you do make big OP decisions, I just need to talk to you about how to make things more challenging and interesting for you, which is fine. That's just, like, a conversation we need to have. Anyway, shall we dive in?
Let's do it.
Yeah. So what do y'all remember from last time?
We nearly died.
We fought
the
things, and then we went to bed. But before we went to bed, we had a weird flash of vision of some other place.
Wasn't it just Toz who had the weird flash?
I saw everything because for some reason, the tank crit on this roll, but I think you all saw, like, a couple different places.
I just had weird dreams, and Morgan saw some stuff, and Delphi, was just straight out asleep.
I think Morgan saw the kind of place with a bunch of fire in it and the fire snake, but I can't remember. Someone saw that.
I saw the fireplace, I saw a place with displacer beasts, and I saw another place, but I can't remember what it was. I probably wrote it down. Delphi had a really rough day.
And now they are napping.
She deserves to be passed out.
She did. Yeah, bad stuff happened. Poor Delphi.
Delphi in the no good, horrible, very bad day.
Yes. It is the next morning. You've all woken up after having presumably mixed degrees of restful sleep. I assume you're all, like, meeting downstairs in, like, in the
convening
pub.
for breakfast.
Yeah, Scooter's there as well, just in the corner.
Morgan will probably be one of the first to wake up, I think, because she gets up at sunrise every morning to say her prayers to the god Collector. She does some prayers, she lights a candle, snuffs it out, and just generally starts her morning. Bit of relaxing contemplation of the nature of time.
As we all do.
As we all do. Collector is the god of truth and time in this setting. Is that correct? Have I just messed that up?
Yeah.
That's correct, right?
Yes.
Yes, no, that is correct. Colactor is the god of truth and time, and their gender is beyond mortal comprehension.
I think so. Toz would have gotten up super early, not out of habit, but she wants to write some letters.
Oh, cool. Who's she writing to?
I'd like to write one letter to my uncle and one letter to my father.
Okay, cool. What you saying?
Just basically detailing what I saw in that vision before bed.
Oh,
Cool.
Just being like, kind of freaking out. I'm asking my dad to do. They've written a little bit differently. My letter to my father is just kind of me being like, "Can you do some research?" And the letter to my uncle is basically being like, this doesn't seem to be particularly scary, but if it's a considered threat to the realm, it's my duty to inform you.
Aww.
That kind of thing.
She's so lawful.
Yeah, incredibly lawful. And then I think she's gonna go out and try and find a place to send them, and then come back in through the front of the tavern whilst everyone comes down for breakfast.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, you can see, sort of right on the edge of this tiny settlement, there's like a little sort of dilapidated little post box, with like a collection time of like twice a week. The next collection's going to be in about 2 days.
Brilliant. Yeah, I'll pop them in there and then just make a note of the collection time as well to share with the others and go to breakfast.
Awesome.
Raina's literally rolling out of bed and coming down and looking for food.
Wait. Is Raina tumbling out of bed and stumbling to the kitchen and pouring herself a cup of ambition?
Not the last one.
And by ambition, I mean rum.
Yes, no. Like, I didn't make a raging alcoholic. She just likes a drink. But not in the morning, because that would be bad.
I don't drink in the morning, pours a beer.
Historically, I think I think all sailors and like everyone just drank watered down beer all the time.
Yeah.
I think that was just what people drank, like including in the day.
In the UK.
Probably.
In the UK, I believe it was the thing. But that was because the water was so bad, it was safer to drink brewed water.
I get it. Well, we have safe water in this universe because of, presumably, if you're going to send a boat out to sea, you will have at least somebody who can cast the create water spell. So,
Magic kind of destroys all those problems. But anyway.
Yeah, I was going to say, well, magic should create a utopia, however...
The other side has magic too, in the immortal words of the Minister for Magic.
I couldn't remember who'd said that. I was like, Terry Pratchett?
Yeah, I was going to say, that sounds like a Terry Pratchett.
I can't remember if it was Cornelius Fudge or Rufus Scrimgeour. It doesn't matter because the real life who wrote those books. So.
I was going to say...
I thought Hatsune Miku wrote all of those books.
Yeah, Hatsune Miku wrote Harry Potter.
While they were making Minecraft,
Yeah.
As you do.
Is Delphi doing anything particularly this morning, or are you all just convening for breakfast?
Yeah, I think they just wake up quite late is the main thing. They're very, they just stumble out. I feel like you could go for the comedy thing of there's a bird, nesting in their hair.
Yes!
But in this case, it's more realistic because the hair is leaves.
It's canon now. You've said it. You can't take it back.
An answer to my question.
I will let the resident artist know to update her drawings.
The important question is: does this tavern sell coffee?
Hot brown morning potion.
Yes.
Excellent.
As you all head down to breakfast, there's Harley with his arm in a sling, still on shift because, as we know, retail and service workers cannot cut a break.
I'm free!
And Scooter is sat waiting for you as well, with the world's biggest plate of hash browns.
Oh.
And sausages.
Because I feel like Scooter's a hash... And sausages, yes. Scooter's definitely an English breakfast gal. So... You're all gonna, come sit down and have a little discussion over breakfast?
Yeah. I think Toz looks absolutely ragged. You can tell she just straight up didn't sleep.
Scooter's sitting and waiting for you and is like, good morning. How did everybody sleep, okay?
Oh, very, very poorly. I have something to tell everyone.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, so right before I went to bed, everything changed. The window changed.
changed.
Huh.
Did it become wood?
It was like the town square, and then it was a nest of displacer beasts, and then it was just lots of fire everywhere. It was very bad. I think it's a dimension plane. It's a weird plane thing. I don't know what's going on, but I feel like this town's going to keep getting attacked until we sort it out.
I think I saw some sort of fire thing then. I kind of just assumed I was very tired. Yes,
It's not good.
strange. It's like an overlay, I suppose.
I don't know what that is.
You know, like a thing lying on top of the other thing.
Oh, yes.
Where the fire snake was where it had been, as if it had just been from one version of reality to the next.
So those poor things were just getting ripped from their homes and freaking out, and then we killed them.
Oh, well, when you put it like that.
Yes, I think the first order of business after I have drunk this coffee is to go out and have a look at that sundial. And actually have a proper look at it instead of just...
I had a proper look at it.
Well, no one cast detect magic, so I think
Well, this is true.
that will be the first order of business.
I think Delphi goes, "Oh, I can do that now," and gets up and starts to walk out the door
Ooh.
rather prematurely.
Morgan will follow with her cup of coffee then.
I'm gonna grab an ale mug and fill it with coffee and then follow them.
Raina, I feel at this point, has definitely ordered the same plate of hash browns and sausages that Scooter had. And she's
Yes.
literally going to take the entire thing outside with her.
Yeah, Scooter rolls her eyes and, like, grabs her plate and is, like, just, like, follows after you all. Okay, so, what are we looking for?
Can we go straight to the sundial?
Yeah.
I have a question for Delphi out of character, which is this going to take up one of your, like, 2 warlock spell slots?
No, I can cast it at will.
Oh, cool. I can do it as
Yeah.
a ritual, but it'll take 10 minutes to ritual cast,
Ooh.
so you might as well do it then.
Invocation!
Yeah, invocation, the way we get busted. Nah, I can
Nice.
just do it all the time. Delphi takes out their crystal and kind of... It's quite easy, really, for them, so they just do some stuff with their crystal, mutter some phrases, and then hopefully they can see something.
Ooh, what are they muttering? And is it like, or is it just that people can't hear what she's saying?
Oh yeah, it's just like random magical phrases.
I don't know, I'm not a wizard in real
Are
life.
you going to quote that repeatedly?
Yeah,
That's the magic word, isn't it?
That's the magic word.
I'm like, please tell me what I'm meant to be seeing, because I don't know how to do this yet. It's actually inside the crystal is a small gnome who's like a tiny gnome who can do magic, and I just ask them to do everything. That's what I'm.
It's me, I'm the tiny gnome.
Yeah.
Delphi is a magician.
That's it! You cracked the character backstory, you got it!
Actually, Delphi's just made up of thousands of tiny gnomes.
That's why she's so tall!
3 dwarves in a wood trench coat.
Wood trench coat.
Yeah.
So you cast Detect Magic on the sundial, and so again, this magic, there is magic on the sundial, but there are 2 things of note. The first thing is that I've spoken before about how there's Detect Magic that isn't attributed to a school of magic, and I was thinking about how to, like, explain this in a way that makes sense to scientists, and then I realised I wasn't scientific enough to be able to do a proper analogy, so here is an art student's attempt of doing a scientific analogy.
We can restart it if you want.
Yeah.
Here we go. So, we have spoken a little bit out of the podcast about how magic and technology and science kind of all intertwine, and how there's like the kind of magic that like people have kind of control over, and then there's like big like arcana levels of stuff that is just kind of like beyond mortal comprehension.
Do you mean divine magic and things?
Yeah, that kind of divine magic type of thing. I like to think of it as the schools of magic are like a prism that has been placed in front of a stream of light. So it is human and people intervening and going, okay, here's how we split up this raw energy into appropriate usages, like necrotic magic or transmutation. And I don't think this is how it works in D&D, but this is my universe, so this is how it works in my universe. What you see on this sundial is not like red for transmutation or purple for necrotic. It's just white. So it's like unfiltered, raw magic.
And that's the same as was on the big prisms in the desert, right? The monoliths.
Yes, exactly. The second thing that you noticed, and I'm just realising that I used the same, device in the game that me and Chloe played last night, so sorry for some deja vu, Chloe. Whereas the crystals, this white light magic was coming from them, they were clearly, magical things. This is more like dust. It's kind of like magical residue. And Delphi, as you look around, you can see that, there's a lot of this residue on the sundial, but there's also residue, kind of all over the square. And even as you watch, it's sort of slowly disintegrating and kind of disappearing. Like the after effects of the magic are kind of slowly wearing off.
Morgan,
Yes.
does the sunrise have anything to do with, how do I say it? Getting rid of magic or changing it? Is that a thing?
Ellie, can I make something up here, or does it have plot ramifications?
Say what you're going to make up first, and then I will confirm or deny it.
There's long been theorised that there's a strong connection with natural cycles, renewal. It's a whole thing. It's kind of muddied because for religious reasons, obviously sunrise is like a big symbol of Galacta and the repeating cycle of the days and passing of time, but still having a continuity there and repetition, which is to say that people have done some studies to see how sunrise and such can affect magic, but there's not a very clear, specific, spells end at sunrise or anything.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I zoned out a little bit there. I think you basically said you don't know.
It's a kind of matter of religious debate as much as it is people have biases when we're discussing the question.
Yeah, cool. Saying I don't know is fine, but it was very interesting, the bit that I understood.
You do know who Calaxa is, yes?
Yeah.
Okay, just checking.
I think at this point Delphi turns back and goes, the druids to the south of us are stronger in the full moon. There are many parts of this. Anyone who gathers their energy from the world is affected by the change of the time season. It has an effect, even if we do not understand how.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was getting at, because I was thinking they've only come out at night, and now they're not here.
That may be to do with wanting to avoid the light as a...
I mean, unless there's some kind of crazy mage on the edge of town who's trying to do plane shifts or something.
No, the magic doesn't fit. It's not...
But if Toz saw what might be another plane, and that's where the monsters are coming from, then she's not... That makes sense.
I don't know if anyone really has the resources to do that outside of a major academic institution.
Oh.
Ellie, is this vaguely off base, or is this okay for me to say?
No, this is all this is all fine and good.
I mean,
even if they do have the resources.
In the university in Siege, they did do some experiments 5-10 years back to get some proper data from other planes of reality. You can't really just kind of teleport a whole square into a different plane, or it's really not that. You can't just kind of hand wave and say, oh yes, it's clearly from another plane of reality, without that implying a lot about a very powerful wizard doing it, or a university of powerful wizards doing it, or a god doing it, which may be happening. It may be a god doing it, but it's,
Well, if it's a god doing it, I don't know if we necessarily want to stop him.
Oh, well, if it's a god doing it, it's clearly above our pay grade, but,
Yes, I don't really see how we can do anything about this.
I don't particularly want to get smited.
Delphi, does it look like it's coming from the sundial? If we destroy the sundial, will that do anything?
It's not coming from anywhere. It came from somewhere, and it was settled. Does the dust that's kind of settled, that's like slowly degrading, is it degrading into the air upwards, or is it blowing away?
It's degrading upwards. It's almost like, it's like kind of like rising up and like evaporating.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like extremely strongly centered on the sundial, it was just kind of around?
It was everywhere. It kind of like was a little bit, I guess, more clumped on the sundial, but it wasn't like all on the sundial and barely anywhere else. It was just like slightly more concentrated around the sundial.
It's like someone threw a bag of flour in the air and exploded it. It settled around where it formed.
Okay, I suppose this is the centre of town. So can I have a look at it and check that it is plastic?
Yeah, you
Fantasy
can do
plastic.
Do you want to do like a investigation check?
Yeah, I have alchemy supplies. Actually, no, I don't. I don't have my alchemist kit. I have proficiency with alchemist's kit. I haven't actually got one. Ignore that.
Dang. Okay.
Would that be investigation check?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, it's good. I've got a +6 to that. Oh. 5 + 6 is 11. That's not very good.
So you can't tell much about it, but you can tell that it's plastic. Or fantasy plastic.
Okay.
Plastic.
No!
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Is it bad that you went plastic, my brain went fantasy plastic?
Oh,
You
For
can't
all
sing
your
that.
dreams come
You
true.
can't add that. That's probably
Yeah.
copyrighted.
I don't think you can copyright Fantasy Costco.
But it definitely feels like it's trespassing anyway.
It's definitely not R.I.P.
Yes.
Everyone listen to the Adventure Zone.
I mean, I don't think they need any more promo.
I know, but we need to pay our respect to
The gods of podcasting. The pod gods.
Yeah.
The three-headed god.
Right, I think was Delphi going to do something, or have you already?
So I'm guessing you didn't explicitly say it, but I'm guessing the points are from roughly where we were fighting the monsters. So where the center, the sundial is where the fire snake and the mephits were, and the
Yes.
displaced pieces were over against one of the buildings.
Yeah.
Okay. The only thing I can think of is I think Delphi, while you're investigating it, they take their crystal and they know it's plastic, but they want to just make sure, and so they take their crystal and they try and scratch the surface of it, because if it scratches, it must be plastic. If it doesn't scratch, it's stronger. And this is the strongest thing they know of. They haven't been able to find anything that can break it.
Raina sort of sees this and is like, oh, maybe this will work better, and literally get her claws out and do the same thing.
Both of you managed to make dents in it.
Did you do it in a
Great.
secretly
Cool.
hidden spot so people don't come and...
No, Delphi did it right on the front face. There is no secret.
So did Raina.
Oh my god!
They were like, I've got to do it hard to see if it works. And so it's almost a gouge. It's like, it's not
Nice one. They are going to notice that, you realise.
It's like, it's just plastic.
In some ways, you may have broken the sundial. At this point, Scooter pipes up and says, well, considering you have just done minor property damage, it may be best to wind up our interferences here.
That was the Displacer Beast, that was not us.
Of course, whatever you say.
But,
Listen, I am not a particularly scientific person, but from what I'm hearing, this is not a problem that we can solve in one day, correct?
Correct.
Sure.
well, yeah, but we don't want to just leave these people getting attacked.
I mean, ideally you'd have someone here to monitor the ambient levels of magic and check it keeps degrading.
In which case, perhaps it would be best to report this back to Bastet and tell her to perhaps station a couple of wizards, or I don't know what you would suggest, but it seems like we need individuals to stay here and to make sure that this town continues to be safe.
I think someone to... I don't know if there are any local wizards who might be keeping an eye on things already, but just some kind of... If you could keep a minor magic initiate here who can just keep checking the ambient magic levels, detect magic casting, to raise the alarm if it spikes back up again.
And perhaps a few more fighters, or to bulk out their local militia to ensure that they stay safe.
I think that sounds like a good idea.
Should we tell them specifically what happened?
I think we should.
Is there like a mayor or something, someone that we can
Isn't a mare a type of horse?
tell rather than just... Sorry, what was that, Delphi?
Isn't a mare a type of horse?
That's Mare. This is Mayor.
Like a leader?
I love Delphi so much!
Delphi, what existing concepts do you have about politics and local government?
I'm aware that your government works a certain way. And it's completely different to the way that
How does your work?
How does your...
So we're talking about a guy who is elected to look after the people of this town.
Ah, cool. And I think they say, and then they go, and then I don't know the word, but they do say a completely different word. They're like, like this. A filer.
Yes, exactly like that.
Right.
Tohsya's guessing.
We could also talk, perhaps if there's a chief of the local watch or something. So we can let them know what's happened. Shall we,
I'm not going to make any more jokes about them not understanding stuff. They're like, wait, where's the local watch?
Delphi just is the epitome of that meme that's Captain America going, I got that reference.
Yeah.
Scooter goes and pops her head back around in the pub and asks, Harley who to talk to, because Harley's become your, point of reference in this community, apparently. Harley points you in the direction of, funnily enough, the glassblower's shop, and a tall red dragonborn answers the door and is like, hey, how can I help y'all?
Hello.
Are you the mayor?
We don't really have, a mayor, but, and our kind of, city official is, often Addis Orbis, protecting our interests or whatever, and she says this with, air quotes. But, I guess I am the de facto, in charge. I'm Marla.
Nice to meet you, Marla.
So you're like a community leader?
Yeah, I guess that's the right title for me. So, how can I help y'all? You were the ones that fought off those monsters last night, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, well, fought off might be a strong term, but we gave it a good go.
We did fight them off. I don't know what you're talking about. We killed them.
Well, we didn't kill all of them.
Well, yeah, but they also nearly killed us in the process, but that's by the by.
But they didn't kill us, and that's the main thing.
Yes. I like your thinking, Morgan. Very good.
But it's gone, and that's the main thing.
Well, anyway, that's not why we're here. Well, it is adjacent, sort of like. We wanted to let you know that we don't think we've solved the problem.
There's a high level of ambient magic that here does seem to be falling. It does seem to be degrading, and I'm assuming that whatever is bringing these creatures here, and it does seem to be multiple creatures brought here, that it will stop happening as the magic level fades. We're going to tell our superiors in Attis Orbis to send someone here who can keep an eye on the magic level and maybe see if they can handle anything that happens in the future, if it does happen. So hopefully you should get some advance warning if it starts to spike again, but it is not totally solved.
Alright, I'm amenable to that. And then she eyes up Scooter and kind of leans into Toz and says, oh, and just by the by, as much as I appreciate the potential extra reinforcement, please make sure they don't go too hard on the fighters. I don't want that much military presence from Addis Orbis here, if it's all the same to you.
I'll do my best.
To Addis Orbis.
Addis Orbis.
To Addis Orbis!
Hi everyone, Ellie here. Sorry to interrupt the action. We've just got a very quick promo for a very cool podcast called Snyder's Return. They are a UK-based TTRPG podcast that we think you would love. So, without further ado, roll the trailer! Chloe, have you done it? Thank you!
Snyder's Return is a tabletop role-playing podcast featuring interviews and a D&D 5e actual play adventure, so you can learn about different game systems and content creation, while also listening to us disrupt everyday life on the Sore Coast. We release episodes every Tuesday and Thursday on your podcasting platform, so come join us as we improvise, adapt, and overcome.
Catgirl City, baby!
Let's see those cat girls.
Oh my gosh, can you sing your Catgirl City song?
No.
What? No, because it's inappropriate for the podcast.
Wasn't it like, take me down to the Catgirl City where the something and where the milk is cool and sand is gritty?
I've changed it a little bit so it doesn't use the word gritty anymore.
Oh no, Gritty's wonderful.
I think we all know what that could be.
Sweats.
Let's go back to debrief, and on the journey back, have a little level up.
We're leveling up.
Oh yeah, baby.
Well, we're going up to level 5. We were on level 3 and we're going up to level 5. Morgan mostly gets some nice new shiny spells. She gets some 3rd level spells. I won't tell you what they are because it's going to be surprise when I use them, especially one of them, which I've renamed. The only other interesting thing is I got an ability score increase, which possibly sillily I have not put into intelligence, but I've boosted some other stuff, which now means that I have +8 initiative.
Oh my
My
God.
intelligence is only +4.
Yeah, I think your intelligence is just fine.
Only?
+5 would be useful, but I went to plus. But I boosted my dex and my. Did I boost I boost constitution as well. So I've got extra armor class and initiative and hit points.
So I need your guys' help to decide what to do with my level up. So at level 5 I get my extra attack, which is rad as hell. And I could basically boost my dex by 1 and my strength by 1, which would give me +3 strength and +2 dex. Or
Woo!
I could take a feat.
Feet.
Take a feat, young Skywalker. I did not write. I will just say I did not make that up. I'd see it online. I'm not taking all
Love
the credit.
Fighters get extra ASIs, so you might as well take a feat.
I've talked to Ellie about it, and I'm hoping that we can use the half-orc racial trait, relentless endurance. But I also might. It also doesn't give me any bonuses, and I didn't get knocked out during either fight, so I don't know if it's going to be useful. So what I think I might do is take the ability increase now, and then the next time we level up, take relentless endurance. Next time I get a racial trait, next time we get the chance to basically take it, I'll take it. Is what I'm thinking I'll do.
Oh, you get lots of extra opportunities, so might as well.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. So this is my least favourite thing about playing melee classes. I'm just like, I get a number and I can hit a little bit more.
I've got a new spell that is the coolest of buffs, so if you want a cool buff, soon. You're gonna get it.
We love buffs.
Oh, we love buffs.
Chloe, what you got?
Gimme.
So I put all of my ability score into charisma because
Yeah.
that's like everything I do.
You got the cutest character. In a all baby way cute, not in a hot character.
Yeah, well, I am a cat girl. God, I hate.
And you are the shortest by a long way.
Wait, is that you in real life or Raina?
I'm 5'10". I'm not short. I'm just the shortest. No, Raina is 2 inches taller than me. I am 5'8". So I'm not small in real life either. So I now have more Bardic Inspiration die, which is exciting.
Cool.
It's also a D8 now, rather than D6, which is good. And
That's nice.
Oh,
I
yes.
regain any expended uses when I finish a short rest now. So much Bardic Inspiration. That's the main thing. The Mantle of Inspiration thing that I did is now 8 temporary hit points instead of 5. And I have some lovely new spells. Probably not
Yay.
as much as anyone else because bards don't know that many spells, but I do have some cool ones, which will come out over the course of...
Delphi, what's happening with you?
I get a second attack as well, and as well as I get 3rd level spells. I've got some real fun ones that allow me to be slightly ridiculous.
And you're not already slightly ridiculous?
Yeah, no, even more so. There's some fun stuff that's definitely going to come up in the next fight, as well as a lots of utility stuff.
Have we just got like 3 heavily support characters now and Toz just does everything else?
More go bonk.
More go bonk.
But then
Yeah.
Delphi can do multiple things, to be fair. Delphi is versatile.
Instead of an ability score increase, they have taken Keen Mind, which gives them +1 intelligence, and then they get to always know which way is north, always know the number of hours left before sunrise or sunset, and accurately recall anything you have seen or heard within the past month.
That is cool.
I love it.
That is such good tree content.
Triple.
That's good triple content. I'm really here for this.
Fun fact, I took that feat for a homebrew campaign where I was a cyborg because I thought I looked at it and went, it fits so well.
Alrighty, cool. So, you all get back to Attis Orbis, and you head back to Bastet's office. It's a loose term for it because it's kind of like an open platform. Security in Catgirl City is really not a high priority, apparently. And she welcomes you all back and says, "So, do you have anything to report?"
Yeah, quite a lot, actually.
Well, the good news is that we did a thing. The bad news is it wasn't the thing you sent us to do.
Oh.
The floating child was not there when we got there, and there was no trace of the floating child. But we did find some horrible monsters that we then killed in the next place over. Is no one going to continue to back me up? Is Morgan just left hanging there?
I mean, yes, that happened.
Well,
You did a very good job.
Right.
We tell her everything that happened.
Yeah, we tell her everything that happened.
She, when people steeple their fingers, she does that with her paws, and says, that's... Well, I'm glad that you managed to sort the problem in Tepmet, but I think you have good cause to be concerned. Morgan, do you know anyone who could shed more light on this, on what could possibly be going wrong with the place in Tepmet?
Well, Tohsya did mention something that got me thinking. I'm not a planar physicist. I'm not really up to date on the current planar system physics knowledge, but I think if I were to visit the university here, theoretical physics department might be able to assist us. What happened if it is some kind of creatures coming from different planes of reality thing, then it really shouldn't be happening like this, but I don't want to rule it out.
Okay, well, that sounds like a potential an avenue for you to look into. I don't have any current cases for you at the moment, so I think it's best that you pursue this line of inquiry, and we can reconvene here in a little while.
I'll give you something to keep in contact with me. And she turns around and you see there's like a small, in the corner of the room, there's like a covered structure, and she lifts up the corner of the cover, and you see it's like a bird cage, and she pulls out this small bird shape, and she says, this is top of the range Catgirl City technology, brought to us by Adavan Lovus, actually, in the Clockwork City. It's an excellent way to keep in contact, and it's this like small raven that's like made of like clockwork, so it's like a little animatronic raven, and it opens its mouth.
Very cool.
What in the nine hells is that?
This is its official name is a vocal transmitter, but we like to call them carrier ravens. Essentially, I can record a message using magic that's imbued in the raven and then send it to you, and it will be able to use the spell Locate Person and find all of you. So if you want to go and take some time off, explore the city, when I need you next, just look out for the raven and you'll know to come back here. Does that make sense?
Course.
Technology is amazing.
So you're saying that's a magic bird? I'm very confused. Chloe's not confused. Raina's confused.
It's a magic metal bird. It's an automaton, essentially, in miniature form. If you're not
An auto what?
automaton. Have you ever been out of Catgirl City?
Only on the ocean.
I mean, it's not like I haven't used one before, but I've heard of them. Have you really not kept up with these?
Have you met a Warforged ever?
You're saying words and I don't know what they mean.
To be fair, there are not many people who've met a Warforged.
I'm very confused.
To be fair, I have no idea what that is.
Thank you, Delphi, thank you.
Do I have to explain what the Warforged are?
And what is this Warforged?
A Warforged? Do I need to explain what a Warforged is to them? Warforged...
That sounds like a place where you make weapons. I thought there was a different name for that.
You know how you're a person made of wood?
No, it's... the thing is, it was, It was a little before my time, but in the university in Braw, where I studied, I'm still actually work for them, I'm just on a sabbatical, but there was an incident with the biomancy department. They were attempting to... You know the moving cities, yes?
Vaguely.
No.
No? They're big cities, they move.
They move?
Anyway, they were trying to rival that.
How does a city move? Do you mean like a tent, like a caravan?
No, it's big. It's the gods did it, sort of. Oh wow, I could spend the whole day doing a history lesson, really, if you are clearly not caught up with any of this.
Look, why don't we go get a drink and we can explain everything?
Bastet kind of cuts you off and is like, as fascinating as having basic technology explained to me is, I do actually have other meetings that I need to get on with today, so if you could all take this conversation outside, that would be great.
Yes.
Oh.
Sorry.
Of course.
Yes, sorry. We can have this conversation another time, but in a nutshell, they accidentally made some people out of wood and metal, and that's Warforged, and now no one really knows what to do with them, and the biomancy department got shut down for ethics violations.
Right, okay, I'm gonna, come back to that. Yes, Bastet, thank you. Do you mind if I just have a little private conversation with you quickly before you go? Very short.
Yes, of course. I also wanted to have a quick talk with Delphi, if that's all right.
I guess Morgan
So-
and leaves, and Tohsya, I guess, comes with.
Yeah, Tohsya's gonna go wait outside politely.
Can I, recommend to them a nice... I haven't come up with a name or where it is or anything. A nice pub they can go to. And I say it's a nice pub, it's actually, full of very rowdy people. That, or it potentially just isn't there.
What about, the kitten's arms or something?
The kitten's arm. And I can be like, oh, we can meet back there. It's a good place.
Mm-hmm. So, Raina, if you wouldn't mind waiting outside as well, I'm sure the conversation I'll have with Delphi will only be a quick one.
Yeah, no problem.
What can I do for you?
I really don't mean this in an offensive way, so pardon me if it sounds it, but well, this is a wide-ranging operation. The project Arrow Ace. We have input from several governments, from the Loxodon cities, from Braw, from Navrosh, and from Adavan Lovers.
Yes?
We didn't put any advertisement in Calrati, so I want to know how you found out about this particular opportunity and why you decided to join us.
I'm afraid I'm not entirely sure.
Deck of Many Aces is Am Chisholm, Chloe Elliott, Eiriol Evans, Katie McLeod, and me, Ellie Webster. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Deck of Many Aces, or tweet at us with the hashtag DOMA, that's DOMA. Please subscribe and leave us a review on iTunes if you like what you hear. Head over to Chloe's SoundCloud to check out music for the show, and if you want to hear more of Am, then subscribe to A Rendezvous with Destiny, a Sky on Path actual play podcast that she helps to create.
If you'd like to support us even more than you already do, please consider tipping us using our Acast supporter link. It's supporter.acast.com/deck-of-many-aces. It is completely optional. This always has been and always will be a free podcast. But if you want to chuck us, a bit of spare change just to say thank you, then we'd really appreciate it. The promo you heard earlier was for Snyder's Return. I already mentioned them in our New Year's Day message, but I thought it was worth revisiting them because they are so cool and have been so lovely to us and to our sister podcast, A Rendezvous with Destiny. They are a UK-based TTRPG podcast. They do a combination of interviews and actual play. They're a really lovely group of people and they're really passionate about creating a community among podcasters, particularly among TTRPG and UK podcasters. I would go check them out. Finally, some cool news. Am has recently started volunteering with All Sorts, a Sussex-based charity to support LGBTQ+ youth. If you're interested in supporting them, then go check out allsortsyouth.org.uk or follow them at allsortsyouth on Twitter. Have an ace week, y'all. Bye!